Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Alright, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the Kylou Glass Gen 4 series, live from Phoenix. Well, sort of live. It feels like we're going back in time. It's old Phoenix here tonight. Should be a good one. This series has been absolutely fantastic. I'm Dean Doucette. He is Adam the Bulldog Newton. Adam, we're going back to old Phoenix here.
Yeah, I love the original layout better than the new one, sure. I think it's a little more of a driver's track, but it's good to see it. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, man, hey, great track for sure. You can see out here right now. Well, let's check the weather, actually. Phoenix track's only 103, so not super hot, even though, you know, it can be at times in Phoenix. Should produce good racing conditions. These guys here, track position tonight, Adam, gonna be highly important.
It is. I went out there and turned some practice laps, and it was an interesting car, a little bit on the slick side. You can't overdrive it getting in the corner, but you gotta be smooth as glass on exit, that's for sure. I remembered that little bit of a edge right there in the tri-oval as it used to be. It's kind of slick back there if you're on the hammer.
The other thing is, start finish line in the middle of that straightaway instead of down in what used to be corner number one. So, you know, we'll have to, took me 3 years, Adam, to get used to calling these corners, and I got to flip it back to the old ways now.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, I wish they had never even touched it. I kind of like this layout better.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And I also love this championship battle. Absolutely awesome. So you got Jason Ratliff, the rifleman, who rattled off a few wins in a row, but look at his lead. Barely anything. Buckshot Ripka closed in. He's within 5 points. Chris Owens within 6. Michael Walker II within 7. Then Torgerson, Pistol, Powers, Brantley, all right in it. Heck, Tony Ratliff, Greg Ratliff, they're in it. Then you got Ross Weiss, Ashley, and others in there. But, I mean, this is a deep, deep fight, Adam. And a place like Phoenix here could bite one of these guys. And it's kind of like, you just can't be outside of the top 10. I mean, you got to keep getting top 10s each and every week here.
Oh, and most definitely. I mean, to, you know, go back on what y'all done earlier this season, I've only ran one race of these cars, and they were a blast to drive, the extra horsepower and stuff. But, yeah, you've got to be in the top 10, and, you know, you got to have a favorite, Chris Owens. I mean, he's been lighting things on fire, has a lot of speed, and there's a couple others, and, you know, can Lance carry his hot streak over to this series. Lance has been on fire. He missed Sunday night's race, but here he is tonight. Maybe he can get it done.
Yeah, Lance has been on a roll, no doubt. Of course, Jason Ratliff been on fire in this series. And how about the big dog, Adam? Maybe the big dog can, you know, this is an older track, something we're used to. Maybe the old dog, or the big dog as we call him, can come out and bite someone tonight.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. He's been on a little hiatus here late, but yeah, maybe he can.
All right, warm up, winding down as we get in the set to get this thing going. There's a beautiful look at it. I mean, I don't know where all the cars are parked out here, Adam. A lot of concrete out there, but the shape, the stands, I love it. I love old Phoenix.
Yeah, it should put on a good show tonight.
All right. right, as everybody gets ready to get going, let's get into tonight's starting grid. It's Jason Ratliff on the point with a time of 28.250. Absolutely dominating lately. Ripka right there with them. He's on the outside of row 1. Row 2, Owens and Greg Ratliff. Row 3, Troy Torgerson and Tony Ratliff. So we got a Ratliff in every row of the front 3. Brantley, Jason that is, he'll start 7th. In 8th, it's Tom Ashley. Starting in 9th position, it's going to be West Pistol. Claus Williams will start on his outside. Todd the Toadman Gilly will start in row 6 along with Herb Ashley. Row 7 will be Michael Walker II and Ross Weiss. Ricky Williams, Tom Lester, Michael Fleming, Robert LaPrime, and Paul Travis will round out the field. Not sure Paul's going to drive. He's out there testing out that arm. He is currently not lined up, so Paul maybe not gridding.
Yeah, it's good to see him back after that surgery. Little pork chop back in the mix.
All right, you see them all heating up the tires. That's a little old school action right there in itself.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see that.
All right, Jason Ratliff and Lance Ripka will lead them down. Pace car off the track.
Green flag.
Green flag down and away. We're racing here in the Phoenix 200.
Man, and you saw how the front end of those cars picked up all that power. It's nice to see cars with horsepower again.
Ooh, and Owens there underneath Ripka, just a little bit loose. Everybody else getting sorted out. Herb Ashley, or that's Tom, sorry, Tom Ashley falling a little bit. Out front there, Rifleman.
And the Rifleman had a good jump, but Lance has settled back down, and looks like him and Owens are just going to follow each other into one.
Back here, it's West Pistol back in 9th. Not a single move has been made, Adam, and that's what I'm talking about track position-wise. Everybody already in line, lined up. It's 145 laps here this evening. It's going to be hard to pick up spots.
Yeah, I think once the tires wear down, you'll see a couple movers and shakers. I see Tom Lester's up one position, but right now, the fastest guy on the track that lap was Owens.
Well, Owens, top-rated driver in this series, according to Sim Racer Hub, so that's always an interesting little factoid, Adam.
Yeah, it definitely is, but, I mean, he's had some speed in several of the races I've had the pleasure of broadcasting with you. I mean, he's got some talent, for sure.
No doubt about it. Right now, Jason Ratliff extending a little bit. Owens putting serious heat on Ripka.
Yeah, he stuck that thing down there in turn 3.
And there goes Owens again, peeking down underneath. He gets a good drive off, so he'll have position down into the corner. So Owens looking to take second. Ripka not giving it up without a fight. But he'll take it, so Owens does take second. Lance Ripka into third. A little further back, Michael Walker's picked up 1, so has Weiss. Lester has picked up 2. It looks like Herb Ashley's been falling a bit, along with Ricky Williams.
Yeah, you see some interesting lines right there. Some guys are running the high line, and some guys are keeping it glued to the yellow line.
Well, what about that, Adam? Is that something you could do here at Old Phoenix? Can you move around a bit?
Well, one guy I've seen that did that was the guy that usually broadcast on tonight, and we saw Jared Carr use the high line here multiple times, and it worked.
Yeah, I think in 4 in particular, as I call it. I don't know what corner you want to call it, but the last corner, you can definitely wrap it around a little medium, a little high up there, but I think for the most part, you're going to see guys down low at him.
Yeah, he would wrap that top like nobody's business and have some speed. And looks like Owens has got some speed right now coming up there, trying to get a little bit closer to Ratliff.
Yeah, Owens definitely got some speed. And, the one thing about him is he doesn't burn him up either. So I think Owens going to be here for the long haul. Right now, he's got a good drive here. He's taking a peek to the inside of the rifleman. And up the track goes Jason Ratliff. So Owens does get a nose. Can he get the power down here off of 4? Looks like he got a good drive. He took a good angle.
Yeah, it looked like he put down the power pretty good there, Dean.
Yeah, you got
Still
that
there,
when we
showing
talk
him that
about
nose.
we talk about that 45-degree angle. I think that was a perfect example of it, Adam.
Yeah, it was. It was a real good example.
So Owens looking for the early lead. Jason Ratliff looks like he's content to slide into second here, although he's got some great momentum on the outside. So Owens out front. Ratliff into second. Now Ratliff fights back. What a turn. And that's something else you can do. Through one there, you can really hit that middle groove, Adam. It's a bit of a funky one. Hard to do consistently. But we used to know a guy named Lane Allen who could hit that groove.
Yeah, Lane was really good, just like Jared was. Jared was probably a little bit better. But, I mean, that top lane would work. I mean, it carries a lot of speed down the backstretch. Looks like Ratliff is going to just fall back in line right now, though.
Yeah, he gave a good effort, but Chris Owens, your new race leader, so great job by him. Greg Ratliff still in 4th, Torgerson 5th, Tony Ratliff, Jason Brantley, and now Pistol. Pistol, another guy to watch here, Adam. He's always coming to the front here. Not sure about how he's been qualifying so much, but a threat to win any race here.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with Pistol. I just rode with him that one time in this series, but I see his name pop up quite a bit. So, but yeah, that Tennessee Bowles car is look like it's got some speed in it.
Is it legal to drive with a pistol, Adam?
Depends on who you ask.
Fair enough. Tom Ashley sitting in 10th. There's Claus Williams, the Toad Man, Todd Gilly. And here comes Michael Walker, another one of these guys in that fight, Adam. He's got the long run car each and every week. How do you think he'll fare here this evening?
I know Michael's gotten a couple of wins in this car, and he seems to have it pretty dialed in most of the time. So it'll be interesting to see if he can work his way up to the front.
Certainly will. Right now it's Owens, and he's starting to open it up a little bit over Ratliff and Ripka. Here comes Torgerson. Torgerson looks like he's going to make a move on the big dog.
Yeah, looks like he's got that position, but he's still got to put down that power.
And you see, they're getting a good drive off a low there. So out of 4, it looks like that you can get off that corner low. So I watch for more people to do that. Looks like they're almost following that dotted line on exit, Adam.
It does. I mean, but like I was saying, you don't see very many people in the gas right there where that tri-oval lip is. The car gets really, really anxious under gas, as you can see right there in front of Troy. Back into the car, likes to come around a little bit.
Now, that wasn't a yawn you heard, folks. That was just Adam stretching. He'll be just fine.
No, I was trying to do something and I messed up.
So you're riding on board with Torgerson. You can see where he's putting those lefts down on that dotted line on exit of 4. I love it. Think it's a great line. And I like the way he's getting down into 1 early, Adam. That's something that I've always preached. you almost want to hit that wall. We'll stay with this for a second and watch when he heads. Well, watch his exit here, Adam, first of all.
Yeah, you swing it all the way out, but I like what he's doing. He's rolling that bottom and he's trying to put down the power right there. And you see Ratliff's big dog's car yaws out some.
See, this is way up the track for me in this turn. I like to aim for the end of the wall, Adam, on the inside down in one. And we'll watch. We'll see if we can find a car that kind of does that. Get down into that corner real early. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm just saying it's a way.
Yeah, it is a definitely a unique way to get that car to turn through that corner.
So Jason Brantley, Big Possum, he's on the move. He's picked up one. He looks like he's got some speed. He's caught up to Torgerson here.
Yeah, good rebound for him after his spin the other night at Darlington. It's a sharp-looking car he's got.
Yeah, definitely a sharp-looking car. He's down there on the bottom. Let's see how he enters down into one. Everybody pretty much riding the same little groove here. So we'll see. The other thing that does, Adam, that produces a lot of, rubber out on that line. Is it good to search around and get away from that rubber?
Oh, yes. You definitely going to need the grip later on. And you see right there that Owens was actually a little bit higher than Ratliff and Ripka.
Adam, I'm telling you it. Greg Ratliff, Troy Torgerson, Jason Brantley right here. It's like Tony Ratliff. He's just pacing himself right now. Pistol in 8th with Tom Ashley right there. Someone he was hot last week, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I love that Air Force car he's driving. That's a good-looking ride.
There's a toad, man. You see that car wiggling around a little bit there. Looks like that car was unloading there, Adam.
Yeah, and it's real easy to put down that throttle a little too soon. And it kind of looked like what he did, but these cars, you cannot overdrive them. They have, the brakes are really kind of finicky, and the throttle control that you got to have to get these things to have momentum is, it's totally different from what we drive on a weekly basis with this new stuff.
Pistol just made the pass on Tony Ratliff, so put West Pistol up to 7. Brantley did get around Torgerson. He's up to 5th. Him and Owens as well, who's up 2. So those are our big movers. Towards the back, you got Tom Lester. He's picked up a couple into 14th. You know Tom. Tom won't be out here long. So he gets a well-timed caution one of these nights, and he's going to come out smiling.
Oh, yeah. He'll definitely play that strategy.
Lap 25 of 145 here in the Kylou Glass Gen 4 Series. We're live at Phoenix, and don't forget, well, never mind. I do forget, actually. We got Kylou Glass on board tonight. Go check them out over on Facebook, all your blown glass needs.
Yeah, Ratliff looks like he's been settled down. He's still running consistent good times, but what I'm looking right now is Jason Ratliff. He's actually a little bit quicker than our leaders right now.
Yeah, Jason Ratliff, he's really become a very patient racer, and I think he just didn't want to run the pace that Owens was racing. So we'll see if he can catch back up here. Last time by about a 10th and a half faster than our leader.
It looked like Troy was pretty quick too. He ran a 25. But yeah, I think that's a smooth move. I mean, 29 laps into the run, you can still uh, possibly go up to 80 laps on gas. You know, keep your speed in the car. Keep,
Whoa!
ooh, man,
Greg Ratliff
the,
off the wall there out of 4. So Brantley goes by and Torgerson comes to his rear.
man, them gremlins still are haunting Big Dog. That was a pretty hard hit he took.
Well, you do play it pretty close to that wall more times than not, so I'm not surprised someone might have hit it a little early in the run to be smacking the wall, though. Greg's going to have to figure out his groove. Pistol now takes underneath of Greg, so Greg hemorrhaging spots here. He's got to stop the bleeding at him.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if he didn't break his steering, because that looked like it was a hard blick.
Well, let's go on board here with Greg Ratliff. Can't really see the steering too much. I'm not sure it would show us if he was, but that car drifting in the middle part of the corner, and that almost looks like he's scrubbing a little speed there at him.
Yeah, the way it's driving and the way I see his steering, I think he must have definitely broke the steering on it.
Tony Ratliff now gets underneath him. So he has definitely got some kind of problem here. Now Tony Ratliff along with Tom Ashley lining up. Claus Williams, haven't talked much about him. He's starting to enter this battle as well. Greg desperate to get to the bottom, but there's no openings. There goes Claus, so we'll see if the Toad Man, Todd Gilly, can come up here and prevent Greg Ratliff from getting in line. I don't think he can, so Ratliff going to find a little home here. He has fallen 6 spots down into 10th.
Yeah, maybe he can cool down his tires and get his car back down under control, but it definitely looks like he hurt the steering on it.
It looked like Michael Walker just let Ross Weiss by. So Ross, another one, he'll be good later on here. The Tide Machine. Chris Owens, your early leader, opening up a second lead to Jason Ratliff. Looked like Owens has stepped it up again and started to march out away from Jason Ratliff. Big Possum here. He is up 3 spots right now into 4th. So Jason Brantley, one of our early big movers.
It's good to see Jason having a good run tonight.
Yeah, it certainly is. And he's another one. He's in this battle. He is not out of it by any means. Go ahead and go on board with Claus Williams here. Right in front of him, Tom Ashley and Tony Ratliff. Meanwhile, Ricky Williams or Robert LaPrime up into the wall. So LaPrime having some kind of struggles back here.
Yeah, his car looks evil right now.
Early going to have the evilness hit you.
Yeah, it looks like Owens picked back up the pace, Dean. He's been a little bit quicker than a second place and third place car the last couple laps.
Yeah, I mean, they've been swapping back and forth, but Owens definitely has stepped it up a bit.
What's the interim gap right now?
So 0.8 second gap, so he's probably picked up a couple of tenths, has Jason Ratliff. And you see there, that corner, just Owens not that smooth on exit. So I think Ratliff probably picked up a little bit there as well.
Yeah, he ran a 2 to Owens 4. And it looks like Lance has picked it up a little bit too. They keep it's like that one lap leader runs the fastest lap. The next lap, Lance runs the fastest lap. Is just going back and forth.
Well, that's something about this track, isn't it, Adam? I mean, the goal here is to get into a real rhythm, but you've got to hit your marks, and it's a very unique track. 3 distinct areas here.
Well, the one thing that I noticed, the last couple turns, you see how low Jason is compared to Owens. Owens is kind of doing a more diamondish off, as Owens is more, Ratliff is rolling the bottom better, but they're both even off of 1 and 2.
Very interesting. The car is seemingly dancing around, even on the straightaways there of Chris Owens. If you just focus on that front end, you can see it shifting to and fro, Adam.
Yeah, you definitely see it moving around, and he, like I said, the last couple laps, he's looked like he's searching for a little bit of grip.
So Jason Ratliff has closed in. This could be a big, big race for the Rifleman. I mean, he is your points leader, but I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen such a slim lead over like 4 other guys. So he would love to get it. And there's Owens' front end again, just dancing all over the place.
Yeah, one guy that I keep looking at his times, and he is clicking off some laps. There's 2 of them, actually. It's Tony Ratliff and Wes Pistol. Both those guys, they're throwing down some laps, comparable to the leaders, but they're just lacking that little bit of track position right now.
Yeah, and that is the key. Not a place known for a lot of cautions. I expect this thing to go green. So if that's the case, Adam, you take someone like Wes Pistol, now 7 seconds behind. What can he do here? Is there a pit strategy that he can pull? What can he do?
Well, he could do what the Batman does, or like Leo does. He could run long and try to have the freshest tires at the end of the race and try to hammer down, stay out a little bit longer. But I'm not 100% sure I'm sold on short pitting right now. Not with this way this car burns the tires off.
Well, I personally love the short pit here, just for the fact that track position's so hard. We go look at Jason Ratliff right now. He's caught up to Owens, but good luck finding a spot to pass him here. And Owens taking up the track a bit there through 1, Adam.
Yeah, he's definitely making it hard for the Rifleman to find some air to get on that nose to get around them.
He's just moved up like a little, maybe 1 groove up. There you see him cut down, so see if he can keep that car under him here, and he does. Darren Bruce out there in the chat, rooting on Spear Motorsports, Adam.
Yeah, I don't even know if anybody from Spear is on there tonight.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see anybody from Spear on
Bruce,
there.
Otto Viani, and Jason Spear, I don't see any of them. So we'll root them on, Darren. But I don't think they're out here.
Yeah, they took the night off tonight. I'm sure Jason, still probably recovering a little bit from Labor Day.
Oh, and LaPrime spitting stuff up on the track, Adam. Something happened with Robert LaPrime. I just caught it out of the corner of my eye. That back tire is flinging some grass or something up, so he's struggling here tonight.
Yeah, he's had a couple encounters with the wall, but it looks like his car still is, hanging in there pretty, decent body-wise. But the leaders are creeping up on him quick.
There are leaders, Owens and Ratliff. Lance Ripka right there in 3rd. Brantley trying to run them down. Now, Brantley was the fastest of our top 5 last time around. There's Torgerson. He's got Pistol right behind him. And see, Pistol has caught up to Troy Torgerson, but trying to pass him, I don't know. All of a sudden, Tom Lester comes on pit road here on lap 48. So he is going for a 2-stop strategy here, Adam.
Well, you said you liked the short pit. Let's see if he can make it in his box.
Well, that's it.
But
For the lead.
Ratliff's there.
The rifleman throws it in hard. Owens holds his ground. They'll try to get the drive off the corner. Whoa, and the wiggle out of Owens opens the door for Ratliff.
Yeah, he couldn't put down the power like he could earlier. And Rifleman's going to get the spot.
So Jason Ratliff back out front. Owens will set the chasing now.
Yeah, but look right there behind you. You got Buckshot coming up in the back picture.
Yeah, and he picked up a little bit of time there as those two battled a little bit. Brantley also. So Brantley still running quick laps. Pistol. Now Torgerson, oddly enough, looked a little slow. Looks like he's found his groove now.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of guys have kind of found their stuff, but you know, we're on lap 51. I would imagine some of the guys are probably going to start coming in thinking even tires of gas here very soon.
Well, the Prime's coming in. He's seen enough of that machine for now. So lap 51 of 145. The Rifleman out front where he's been a lot this season.
Yeah, he put a gap on him too after he got around him.
Yeah, he certainly has. I think Brantley he was the fastest again, so Brantley starting to put some great laps down, starting to run them down. The whole key here, Adam, how many times do we talk about it? Don't let those tires slide. You know, too much throttle's not your friend. That's what we call scrubbing speed.
Yeah, and I was just looking at Ratliff, big dog. Oh, man, he has lost 7 positions in total right now.
Yeah, not too happy with that machine right in front of him. Ross Weiss. Weiss looked like he wiggled there off the corner, and there goes Greg Ratliff down to the bottom. Does he all of a sudden have something underneath him?
Yeah, it looked like Ross was way out of control on that last corner, but it looks like he's going to let the big dog on by.
So Weiss, who picked up a few, is now seemingly going to lose at least one, maybe more, as Michael Walker starts to hunt him.
Yeah, you got Walker, and Gilly is right there. Toad, man, he's right there with him too.
There's Ripka. Ripka has caught up to Greg Owens here for second, Adam.
Yeah, I was watching that. He's slowly creeping in on him, but it's still that last lap. It's been between the Rifleman and Brantley as far as speed, but look, I mean, man, Troy has picked up the pace. He ran a 55 that last lap, and so is West.
Pistol and Tony Ratliff, they are flying around this track right now. Claus Williams not too shabby either, but Claus, he's got La Prime on fresh tires underneath them. And you see Claus, he's up there in that Jared line.
Yeah, he's definitely up there, but you know, him driving that Chevrolet, it affects your steering.
You leave the Chevys alone, Adam.
Well, you can't work for Ford and drive a Chevrolet. I got to give him a hard time.
It's a different world we live in these days, isn't it, Adam?
He has a neutral gender car.
Well, let's not go there now. Ripka in second, Owens third, Brantley fourth, Torgerson hanging in. And, you know, there's a couple guys, Torgerson is one of them. I didn't think he was agreeable here tonight, but late in the run here, he's one of the fastest guys on the track. Him and Pistol both seemingly flying around here right now.
Yeah, he's certainly closed the gap up on him. Big Possum. Possum's got to pick it up if he's going to keep Jorgensen behind him.
Yeah, he seems to be fading slightly here. Tom Ashley along with Greg Ratliff, Michael Walker. You got Ross Weiss. So Walker making his move now. He's gotten by Weiss. He is up into 11th.
And this is when I thought that we would see some comers and goers. I mean, we're 8 laps in the run. Got probably some guys are going to stretch it and see if they can make it on one stop. Got another, 30 or so more laps that you could do. I know your car will be a handful, but, ooh, man, you see Toad, man, just got evil loose right there.
Yeah, he really did. That back end just walked away from him. Out front, no problems for Jason Ratliff. He just destroyed the field on his last lap. Him and Claus Williams in the 29 4s. Everybody else up around the 6s and 7s.
Man, he found the extra gear in that car for sure.
Well, I find the cars can go through phases, Adam. And generally speaking, that middle phase, not so good. Once that gas starts to empty out a little bit, the car seems to come back to you a little bit.
Yeah, he's really the only one I see besides, Big Possum on the bottom down there. I mean, look, Owens is having a handful with his car right now.
He just tried that high line at him. He came off there with a head of steam, and the car said, whoa, going too fast for my tires here.
I had to bust out the whoa, Nelly.
Ooh, Nelly. So now Brantley seems to have kind of stabilized. Torgerson and Pistol have slowed down. I mean, it's a real ebb and flow around here, Adam. I don't know if anybody outside of Jason Ratliff has a real rhythm going right now.
Nah, and looking at that time, it looks like...
Oh, and Ripka through the grass. Buckshot Ripka. And he comes through. He spits grass all over the track. Comes out right in front of Owens. Owens trying to get some momentum. Doesn't know where to go. He falls in behind him. Holy cow. Let's get a replay on that.
I think Lance wanted to leave his mark in the infield.
Well, he left his mark all right. So he
got
got down here through the corner. And you watched the rear end of that machine. And I mean, wow.
That's what I was talking about. Coming through that short tri-oval area, if you're on the gas, the car unloads and just wants to go to the left. It did it to me when I was messing around in practice.
I mean, he's just driving normal, and like you said, the rear end unloads, and there's no weight on it, and those tires just started spinning at him.
But you remember back in the day when they ran here, when Jeff Gordon won it, raced to Ty Earnhardt and whatnot, those cars would get really, really loose through there. And that was like when Jimmy Johnson had it as his playground before Kevin Harvick figured out the new conversion. But, it really unloads and it catches you off guard.
We just look through the field here. Everybody's settling in. Let's hop on board with Michael Walker here, Adam, and just see what we can see. Michael, known to be good on the long run here. You can see a little, if you could barely see his steering wheel, but a little counter action there.
Well, you see that little wiggle after that, coming past that tri-oval area. The car just wiggles on you. And you really see it out of Ratliff, but watch when they go through this section. Last time you could see it in Michael's car, I'm wondering if you'll be able to see it off of, wow, you can see a little bit of it right there. But see how the car just gets a little bit free. And when they come back up, like the car it has no grip right there.
Now, do you think these guys are overdriving here, Adam? I mean, if you try and smooth it out, do you get faster or do you in fact get slower?
I think you go slow to go fast at this point in the race. Roll the bottom, get your runs on the exit. Because every time you do that, see how Michael closed the gap up on Big Dog? When Big Dog got out of shape, that's, couple, thousandths of a second right there. And I mean, it adds up quick.
It certainly does. Let's get a look at our different makes, seeing as how you're a Ford man. Out front, Jason Ratliff in his Ford, opening up almost a 4-second lead. He's got 3 Chevys behind him, and Ripka, Owens, and Brantley. And then you got 3 Fords in Torgerson, Pistol, and Tony Ratliff.
Yeah, they really called up to each other real quick. It's going to be interesting to see who could pass who in that top 4, 5, 6.
As we come down towards the end of this first run here, you see Brantley in 4th. He's going by the prime. Torgerson has ran him down. Can he get to him, though? And better yet, can he make a move? Or does he short pit? Something I see out of Brantley, he's exiting real low out of 4, and I like that a lot, Adam.
I had some extra grip down there, is what I've been noticing. But you saw right there, Torgenson's car unloaded and it twitched. And that's, I think the guys have got a handful right now.
Yeah, I think that's pretty evident. That time, Torgerson low out of 4, and he finds some grip.
And he's putting up a value.
Oh,
Ooh, man.
Brantley lost power there a little bit. Torgerson had to check up. This is going to bring West Pistol right into this fight, along with Tony Ratliff. So now a 4-way battle for 5th position.
Actually, 5. You got Claus right there, too.
Yeah, Claus right in this battle as well. So any bobble here could cost you more than 1 spot. Gotta be smooth. We look over in old YouTube land. Austin Inman out there. Go Red Fox. All right. Rooting on the Red Fox. I'm going to assume he's talking about the car and Jason Ratliff here.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. And Jason's running a great line. You see he's moved up a little bit too. He's riding that seam and then cutting it down, getting that grip on the exit. He's flying.
Yeah, he's looking smooth is what I notice, Adam. It's the one car I don't see twitching very much. Chris Owens on pit road. So Chris Owens, first man in. The 26. Torgerson's going to follow. Claus Williams as well. So we're just beyond halfway here. Greg Ratliff coming in. So Jason Ratliff, he's going to stay out for a bit. Herb Ashley had come in. He just lost his lap. There's Ripka going by. Here comes Brantley. Brantley's going to come in here. A good aggressive stop from him. Behind him, Tony Ratliff looked like he closed up a bit. Tom Ashley's in.
Yeah, you guys, these are scheduled pit stops, and nobody really short pitted anybody.
Well, I mean, they didn't short pit by mass standards, but they're in before these guys who are right now 6 cars still out there in Ratliff, Ripka, Pistol, Walker, Weiss, and Gilly still on the track. So I think these guys got to get onto pit road. I don't think they want to be stuck and have fresh tires and try and go through the field, Adam. That's a tall order.
It is.
Here comes the rifleman.
Here he comes.
I think that was a smart move. There comes Ripka. We'll see if Pistol stays out. I think he probably will. Not much choice at this point. I think Pistol's got to stay out. Walker as well. So those guys, and Torgerson's already been in, I believe. So he's going to go by Walker here.
Yeah, Torgerson had a very good pit stop, and so did it looks like Owens had a pretty decent pit stop as well.
Yeah, Owens doing all right. He's coming through. Let's look at Jason Ratliff still on pit road. Owens coming around, so looks to me, well, Jason Ratliff exiting, so he's going to remain in front of Chris Owens for sure. There is Owens. Almost got him, Adam.
Yeah, he got on the pit road really, really good. And there's Pistol coming in with Ross Reese as well.
So Michael Walker, your current race leader now, he is one of the last people. He has not pitted. He is the last person, I believe. So how long does Walker stay out here, Adam?
I think he needs to come on in. Otherwise, he's going to be out there a little bit too long. That's a tall order, like you said, to try to pass these guys.
Oh, what if I yelled caution right now, Adam?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Well, for him it
Mix
would
it
be.
up. Oh, yeah, well, for Michael it would be, because he's got a lot of guys lapped down.
Chris Owens just set the fastest lap of the race. Was that a mistake, Adam?
I think it is. He showed that he burnt his tires up a little bit too early last time, and I think you need to roll with the flow and try to, like I said, go slow to go fast, and try to get yourself back in this mix.
All right, so Michael Walker continues to lead. His lead under 15 seconds to the rifleman, Jason Ratliff. Ratliff has already made his stop. He has a 4-second lead on Lance Ripka, and Chris Owens another 1.5 back. Then Brantley, Torgerson, and Claus Williams. That's your top 7 right now. Walker still has to pit. I think I just seen a chicken come out of his car. I think he just sacrificed a chicken at him.
Here he comes.
Yeah, it didn't work, so he'll come in and pit, vacate the lead. That's going to hand it over to the rifleman. Rifleman should be coming around right now. There he is.
I was about to say this has got remnants of Sunday night when Leo just blistered the field.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anybody touching Jason Ratliff, but this is one of these things. We talked about it before. You get out here with these leads, you can get complacent, you can make mistakes, Adam, and in this car, one mistake, one loss of focus, and you could find yourself in big, big trouble.
Yeah, you can, but the way his car looks, man, even if he got in trouble like what happened to Lance, he's got enough of a lead where he could probably recover from it.
We go back to Tom Ashley. He is in 7th. Remember, Lester pitted really earlier than others. He just got passed by Wes Pistol. Pistol, one of the last pitters out here. Let's look at our pit board. So Pistol on lap 77. So he's got fresher tires than most of the guys in front of him, but he's got a ways to go too. He's got Tom Ashley. He'd probably come up here and get Tom sooner than later, but he's got about 3.5 seconds to Claus Williams at him.
Yeah, what I'm waiting to see is if Troy's going to be able to Troy's going to be getting around Big Possum, because he's, got the new rubber. Looks like Possum is putting it down, though. I mean, he's gapped him a little bit.
Yeah, Brantley's been very, very... Oh, and Torgerson looks sideways almost on entry there. Don't look like it hurt him too bad, but that car did not look good.
Yeah, it looked a little upset, that's for sure.
Michael Walker, last guy to pit road. He's back in 11th place. Now, he is 4 seconds away from the next guy, Adam. He just set his best lap of the race about 0.8 faster than Lester, who's 4 seconds ahead of him.
Yeah, I noticed he had what, 4 seconds and closing. It's down to 3.6 now. And he's also gaining on the big dog too. So maybe Walker's putting the hammer down.
Yeah, he could be here. Cloud comes over the track. Jason Ratliff already up here to 14th place. Tony Ratliff. Will Tony cut him some slack here?
Yeah, I think old Pops will give him a little bit of room to get by him.
I don't know. You know, Pops have never been known to make it easy on the kids.
Well, this is the one time you could make it hard on them, though, for sure.
You see, nice smooth line here from Jason Ratliff. Ahead of him, Tony peeks underneath the Ross Weiss.
Yeah, what I like, you don't see a lot of braking in this car. He's letting the car roll a whole bunch through that center. That's something he did, you know, it was kind of reminiscent of what he did at Indy. He just rolled the center really, really well. And he can see how he can get on the gas on the exit. Car's not that upset. It's really smooth off the exit.
Yeah, I think he's found, you know, how to drive this car correctly, and that's that tire spin, that unloading, just can't have it, Adam.
No, and you see, he's even opened it up on Lance. He's got 4.25 almost right now. It grows back when they get on the front stretch, yes.
And I like this for him, Adam. I mean, the one thing if you get a lead like this, I talked about the complacency. You know, some guys will even slow down. Maybe, you know, they just want to manage their stuff, or maybe they don't want to blow the field out or something. That's where you make mistakes. I always say just run your line, run your time, keep your focus in the game here.
Yeah, because if you do, like, you made a great point. I mean, you can make a mistake and end up wrecking or costing you. And right there, you see Tom was in the wall. That was a pretty hard hit by the AC3 car.
Yeah, he took a lick. Michael Walker up to 10th now. He is pulling up onto Greg Ratliff. So Michael Walker continues to be significantly quicker than those in front of him. Can he run down several cars? He needs the points, Adam.
Yeah, he's cut Big Dog's lead down to 2 seconds, so he's definitely gained some time on the guys in front of him.
Lap 93 of 145 here at Phoenix Motor Speedway.
If he wants to catch up to Ashley, he's got about, 4.5, almost 5 seconds he's got to make up. So his time is running out at this blistering pace that the Rifleman is putting down, and he hadn't passed his dad yet.
You know who else's time is running out, Adam?
Who?
The Green Bay Packers. They got the Lions coming to town this Sunday, folks. They're almost out of time.
Lions a choke. Till you put money on it.
Well, we can't talk about gambling on the air, but we certainly can talk about it off the air, Adam. Chris Owens. Go ahead.
Your boys had a rough preseason.
Well, thank God for that. I mean, when you're playing the second and third stringers, I mean, my goodness. What heartbreak for us. Anyway, Brantley having a nice run here, as is Owens. They're third and fourth. What do you think of these guys? Brantley's picked up a few. Owens right where he started. Both these guys have been solid tonight, Adam.
They have, and I see that Troy is basically doing the same thing he did last time. But, you know, as far as Brantley, he's put on a phenomenal show, and I think Tom has some pretty severe damage. He hit the wall again, and he's bringing it down to the attention of his pit crew. But, yeah, I see the same kind of vibe that Troy did that last run, and it'd be interesting to see if he can give Possum a run for his money at the end of this race.
Well, yeah, the other thing is Claus Williams. You know, we haven't given much of a due here to the 16 machine. He's our big mover. He's up 4 spots here tonight into 6. He's looking solid at him.
Yeah, he was running that real and still running that real high line right now. I think he's found him a little something up there. Maybe move forward a little bit.
Well, at this point in the race, right, a lot of rubber down low. I mean, you move up a lane or two, there's probably a little bit of grip up there.
Yeah, and every now and then you see he's a little bit quicker than Troy at, every other lap. But it looks like he's got a lot of speed down the straightaway.
Solid corner there. You can see the helmet in the mirror, the sheer concentration here.
Yeah, he's keeping it down there on the line that time. I'm actually surprised.
Behind him, Wes Pistol. He's made up some time. Pistol about a 10th faster than a couple of the guys in front of him. Can the Pistol get up here and move himself into the top 5?
Yeah, and our leader, I think he's playing a little possum with Lance. It's been hovering right around 4 seconds. Lance has closed it in a little bit, and then as soon as he does that, Rifleman opens it right back up.
Tom Lester, who just pitted, just set his fastest lap of the race, Adam.
Well, maybe that was, what he needed was some new stickies to go get that extra point.
And he's coming right now, and he's going to drive right around the outside of Buckshot Ripka. They best not come together here. And Ripka swings out right in front of him here. I don't know if that was the best move for Ripka, but he's going to let Lester down underneath him. Ross Weiss currently a lap down. You don't say that every day about the 41 machine.
Nah, he's currently in the lucky dog position.
Yeah, he would be the lucky dog if a caution was to come out. Haven't seen any indications that a caution would come out here tonight. Only about 40 laps remaining in this race.
Yeah, Ross is running an unusually real high line. He's even higher than what Claus Williams was.
Yeah, Weiss was wrapping right around the wall there when I was watching him, Adam, and very interesting line. But like I said, you search for some grip out there. There's Robert LaPrime in 17th. He's hanging in, so he's going to finish this thing. Ricky Williams done for the night, and it looks like Paul Travis Sr. never did start, Adam, but it's a good sign, I go back to the NFL. The guys come back from injury. They don't really fully practice first. They just get out, do a couple of drills, and call it a day. I think that's where Paul Travis is in his rehab right now.
Yeah, it'll be hopefully not too much longer before he'll be back in the mix.
So there's their distance. It's opened up now another second, Adam. 5-second lead for Jason Ratliff.
I think Ratliff must have been listening to us. He's dropped a hammer.
Well, he didn't want to get called sandbagger by you, Adam.
That only one person has that name. It's special to Bryce.
Owen's doing a nice job. He is not quite matching Ripka's time, so top 3 pretty solid where they are. Brantley at 29.36, pretty good time. He's holding on, but he's got Torgerson right on him here. He ran a 3.5, so Torgerson trying to get up here and take 4th away from Brantley.
Yeah, he's inching his way up there, but Wonder what happened to Pistol. Pistol was right there with those guys, and he's kind of falling back a ways. And look right there, Claus is big wiggle for Claus, but Claus is still looking at the back end of him right now.
Yeah, Pistol, I mean, last lap time, Pistol was second fastest on the track, but he probably, it's been about consistency tonight. We've seen several guys, Adam, almost the entire field, unable to produce a string of 10, 20 consistent laps out here. Why is it so difficult here tonight?
Well, the one thing that I'm noticing is the line that everybody was running, it's really getting a lot darker right now. So guys are having to look for a different, entry and exit. And then I think the only one that stuck true to his line tonight is really Ratliff and Ripka. I mean, and you can see where his left sides are and where they're riding up there, getting really, really dark.
Yeah, the sun beginning to set here. We bring up the weather. You can see the track has gone down a few degrees, down to 99 degrees.
But you hear one thing from his car that I don't hear from everybody else. Ripka and him are able to lay down the power coming through that little triover area.
Well, when we get close here on this chase cam, well, we'll stay with them here and just have a listen here to see how the power does come down. And I heard a little lift there, Adam, and that is a vet move. You know, you just want to lift, you want to keep those tires down there stuck, and it's just a little hesitation from Ratliff, making him much better than everybody else, or at least not unloading the car there.
Yeah, and he's able to keep that momentum through that section, and that's really important because, I mean, there's some speed there.
And that time he just kept it down, so you're right. He's found the smoothness, you know, and the ability to keep that power down. That's where he's making up all that time. Currently a 5.2 second lead on Lance Buckshot Ripka. Chris Owens in third. Then Brantley in fourth. Torgerson right there still. Pistol has fallen off just a little bit behind him. Pistol and Williams, I think Williams closing slightly in on Pistol.
Yeah, Williams is slowly gradually moving in on him. He's cut it down to a handful of car lengths. He's been working on them pretty good for the last 10, 15 laps.
So the Navy machine of Troy Torgerson trying to get up here and get Big Possum for fourth position. They're so even. This reminds me of every race I've ever had at Phoenix, Adam. You can get to where you can see them real good, but closing that last 5 car lengths seems like an impossible task at times.
Yeah, it does. And you see those guys are not as smooth through that section putting down that power. I think if Troy could put down that power like Ratliff is doing, I think he'd be right there and be able to get beside Big Possum.
You see he's trying a little different line or perhaps overdriving slightly. Torgerson trying everything he can here to get caught up. Looks like he closes in one more car length. 30 laps remaining here in the Phoenix 200 with Kylou Glass.
Yeah, he really is pouring the coals down there in the corner, trying to get that exit. I think if he could get the exit he needs like he just did, he could really, really potentially get beside him.
There he closes in just a little bit more. So this is where it's tough. You get the dirty air up on the car, and it can affect you, can't it, Adam?
Yeah, it's a different effect than the newer cars. These cars You can run up behind somebody or get close to them, unlike the new stuff, but it still has that tightness to it.
So Brantley staves off this attack for now. Meanwhile, Jason Ratliff got it on cruise control here as the ebb and flows continue between him and Ripka, and it remains about 5.3 seconds here. Tom Lester off the track, through the grass, up the track he goes towards the wall. He'll hold on to it. That's all right in front of Lance Ripka.
That was a good save.
And Lester's still a little unstable. This got to make Lance a little nervous here.
Yeah, I think Tom will let him on by.
Yeah, he indeed does. Professional move from Tom Lester. Doesn't want to cause any problems out here, especially for his second place car. He goes up and drives it in the wall for good measure, Adam.
It gets a little scrape on the paint.
Just trying to tighten the machine up. That's a little wall adjustment there.
Yeah, you see Lance just scraped the wall too.
Yeah, some sparks flying. Chris Owens been steady as a rock, just sitting in third. Someone went off track back here. Looks like they got it under control, whoever that was.
Is the gap really up to 6 seconds?
Lester on pit road, the gap over 6.2 now, as Jason Ratliff begins to open it up. And this is where he's at his best, Adam. The last 25 laps of a run, I mean, he has just been impeccable.
Yeah, he's really thrown down a gap between the top 5 guys. But you know, I think still the best run or race on the track is probably going to be between Brantley and Torgerson and Claus and Pistol.
Now let's go back and see where we're at here. Brantley in 4th, Torgerson 5th, Pistol in 6th, Claus Williams 7th. So they're all right where they were basically, Adam. They're mirroring each other's times, and this is how Phoenix goes. I mean, you just get lulled into this, I can't run faster than the guy in front of me.
You know, one guy that took the tires late, he finally has crawled back into the top 10 is Walker. Walker got around Ratliff, and he's hunting Tom Ashley now.
So that was a long ways he had to go. He was about 6 seconds back at him. So he ran down Greg and put 5 seconds on him. So Walker doing his thing. This is also his time of the race, these last 25. So these are important points in front of him. I don't know if he's got enough to get up here and get Tom Ashley. And let's talk about Tom Ashley. He started 8th. He's running 8th. The 62s look real good here tonight, Adam.
Yeah, he's been clean, no mistakes. Like I said at the beginning of the race, he's running one of my favorite paint schemes, an Air Force car from the Wood Brothers. That's a cool paint scheme. But, yeah, he's had a really good race.
And he's had a couple of them, you know. It's really odd to see him and Herb. Herb will show up at some tracks, and Tom will show up at some tracks. I mean, we mold these two into one person, and we got ourselves a complete series driver at him.
Yeah, I think Tom tends to do a little bit better at the short tracks than Herb. Herb seems to do better at the mile and a halves, but different driving styles, you know, even though they're brothers and whatnot. But yeah, he's having a good run, and he's still keeping it right about 2 seconds. Mike is trying to close the gap, but he's running out of time.
All right, back up to Torgerson, trying to chase down Brantley. Oh, and Brantley in the wall. So Brantley hit the wall pretty significantly there on exit. That'll slow him down. That brings Torgerson a couple of car lengths closer.
Yeah, it looks like Torgerson has changed up his line again to see if he can't get a little bit of that air to get to him.
Brantley staying low that time. Comes through the tri-oval. He looked like that wall. He was so scared of it, he didn't want to go anywhere near it, Adam.
Yeah. No, and that, Greg stopped the bleeding. I mean, after his problems at the beginning of the race, he's hanging in the top 10, just cruising along. He's still in front of Tony by a little bit.
Chris Owens down through the grass. So Owens, and he's spitting grass all over the place. Wow. So Owens in third place with a big bobble. He's not going to lose any positions, but it'll bring Brantley a little bit closer. Now LaPrime hits the wall. Brantley might have touched the wall. Holy cow.
We're seeing some of the best drivers in the league are struggling a little bit right now.
Cars going away as the sun goes into hiding. Torgerson weebles and wobbles down through the tri-oval.
All that grass back there right now, that's making that track slick.
Now, Adam, we got to do better than tri-oval. What do we call it? The short shoot? What do we call that part of the track?
Call it the short shoot.
Pistol quietly in sixth. He's up 3. Claus Williams in 7th. He's up 3. Everybody's still spaced out. A quiet night here at Phoenix. Jason Ratliff, the class of the field so far. He's coming around, and he's got an Ashley right in front of him. That's Herb Ashley. Herb already a lap or 2 down, so the rifleman putting him up and taking him down.
The correct term is dog leg.
All right, well, thank you for that factoid. Down to the dog leg. Now, why would we call it a dog leg, Adam? Does anybody have that information? Does it got anything to do with a dog? And what's his problem with his leg?
I'm saying the dog leg must be broken or something.
Okay. I mean, I once had a dog kind of dragged his leg around. He sure liked to put his paw in his water dish.
Yeah, for some reason mine likes to do that too.
Well, it was my experience, Adam, that there was a stupid dog that I had, but a most lovable one.
Yeah, mine, they tend to be just aggravating at times, but lovable.
Yeah, well, lovable's all that matters when it comes to dogs. I'm sure you people out there watching all love your pets. I mean, who doesn't love their dogs?
Yeah, Dean's a good pet.
All right, then. Owens coming up on Weiss here. Weiss a lap down. Looks like Brantley is shaking off the fight from Torgerson now. And sometimes that'll happen here. You know, a car gets up close to you, all of a sudden you refocus at them and you're back on it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it looks like that he's done. And, if Bradley can hold him off, that's going to be a phenomenal finish for him tonight. Good in the points wise. And like you said, it's already a tight battle, and this is going to make it a little bit closer.
Let's take a quick look at our championship standings and just see who we got. Ratliff leading, Ripka second, Owens third. I mean, same as the race. Walker is in fourth, Torgerson and Pistol. So, I mean, really our top 3, there's not going to be much of a change here, Adam. Going to be just a couple of more points of separation, but Ratliff with 10 to go, I mean, he's pushed it up to 6.4 over Ripka. He's got a 14-second lead on Chris Owens in third.
Yeah, his car is just completely been on a rail. It almost looks like a slot car almost, where when you were little, you hit the little trigger and the car goes left, right. That's what his car looks like right now. It's just on rails.
Well, you never seen my slot track. I mean, I used to fling cars off of that thing constantly.
That's because you're reckless.
A little bit reckless for sure. Brantley quietly closing in on Owens here.
Yeah, that's what I was. Brantley's getting in the picture right now.
You should have yelled at him a little earlier, Adam. He just needed to get his focus right here. Apparently, Brantley has found a little something late in this run. Pistol, he's creeped in on Torgerson. How about that?
Yeah, he's getting ready to try to make a move on him, and that's pretty good. I mean,
Oh, and Torgerson out of shape. Pistol up high. Can they hang on to it here? They go side by side. Pistol makes and completes the pass. West Pistol late into the top 5.
Yeah, Pistol's got actually fresher tires than these two guys in front of him, so maybe he can go catch Brantley with 7 to go.
All right, 7 laps remaining.
Brantley's
keep his focus here.
Yeah, he is, and I mean, he's got to. I mean, you see Pistols hanging that thing out. He's coming.
Yeah, he's trying his darndest to get up here and get one more. And you can see just on the verge of losing control of that machine. That time real smooth out of 1. Down through the dog leg.
He was 3,000 faster than Brantley that last lap, so he's turned it up, that's for sure.
I mean, he's there already, Adam. He's coming in a hurry. Pistol.
I think he's coming to get some of that possum.
Oh, and Possum break a little loose out of 1. Possum down under the yellow line. That's an old school trick there.
Yeah, but it really didn't work because that Pistol closed it up right there on that exit.
Pistol is there, waiting for one more opening so he can get one more point. West Pistol down underneath the Brantley. Brantley with a little shake and wiggle. Way up the track he goes. Pistol gonna take it. So Pistol picked up 2 late points here.
Yeah, that was a good run. I mean, he's got 3-lap newer tires than Brantley and 4-lap newer tires than Torgerson. And he's making the best of them.
He really is. Don't think he can catch Owens. Owens right here. Well, Owens with a little bobble there and into the wall on entry. So everybody getting a little ragged. You look in on our leader. There he is.
Coming with white flag.
Yes, sir. 1 to go at the line for the 55. The Rifleman dominating so far here this evening. A 7-second lead over Lance Ripka. 18 seconds over Chris Owens. What a performance Jason Ratliff has put on. 1 corner to go. Into the corner he goes. Solid turn. Jason Ratliff will win the Phoenix 200. What an awesome, awesome performance. Ripka likely in second here. A great run for him. And then you got Chris Owens, Pistol. They're going to fight it out to the end here. Pistol has run him down super late. He dives to the inside. Pistol surges out of the corner, trying to hold on to it at the line. Pistol going to take it away from Owens. Pistol to the podium, Adam. Holy smokes.
I told you he was coming. I thought he could pull it off, and he did.
I mean, he made that thing stick. He was down there trying to get that power down. What a move. Jason Ratliff already gone to the garage, so no donuts. He's too tired for donuts. I mean, even cops stop for donuts, Adam.
Well, you know, he just took him to the woodshed. Maybe he just wanted to call it an early one.
Well, yeah, there you go. Great run by the Rifleman. I mean, just what he needed here. Get out here, get his points, extend it a little bit. There is your race results. We talked about our top six. Klaus Williams in seventh, Tom Ashley, Mike. And hold on, it's doing something all by itself here. Tom Ashley, Michael Walker ninth, Greg Ratliff in 10th, Tony Ratliff, Todd Gilly, Ross Weiss, Herb Ashley, Michael Fleming, LaPrime, Lester, and Williams. I mean, the story of the night is simply the Rifleman. He's on fire, Adam.
Yeah, he's picking up where he left off last time I watched him race. He's just laying them down, man. I mean, that's good to see, though. Good momentum, and he's going to keep the points lead moving on to the next race.
All right, let's take a short commercial break, and we'll interview our top three when we return. Welcome back to Phoenix, where the Rifleman put on a show, took over this race early on, and never let it go. He'll open up his points lead. Actually, let's have a little look at that before we get into interviews. These are unofficial at this point, but a 6-point lead over Ripka. Owen still in it. Walker did enough to stay in it. Pistol gets himself in a little better position with those late passes. Torgerson right there and Brantley as well. Everybody else starting to fall off a little bit, but still got lots of races, lots of opportunity. Adam, yeah, he did everything he needed tonight. His top three in the points, they finished top three.
Yeah, it looks almost status quo from the last race we had here. But yeah, a phenomenal night for Ratliff. I mean, what can you say, man? Dominating performance.
Well, it was an awesome performance, but right now we bring in someone who put on a awesome late performance here. West Pistol, number 98, finishing third by a hair there, Wesley. Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That was a pretty interesting finish there.
Wasn't it, though? I mean, so let's talk about, well, let's go back a little bit. You started back in the field, and well, for you, like ninth or something, you had to come up here and make passes. This place, tough to pass, and it seemed like everybody was having a hard time kind of finding a groove, finding consistency, Wesley.
Yeah, I think I was missing speed. Honestly, I was consistent, but I was consistently slow. I felt like, and I just kind of settled in. And I figured I was going to be like about a fifth or sixth place car, and then I actually ran out of gas hit when I got to my pit box on the pit stop. So I went a little too far, but I was trying to lead a lap and get a point, and I ran out of fuel. So that backed me up a little bit. And then I'd settled in again. I just kind of accepted I was going to finish about sixth, and then what was it? I guess fifth, fourth, and third all kind of backed up to me. And I had two more lap fresher tires, and I guess I just did save enough to get around them.
Well, it was interesting because there was more than one time, like you said, fifth, sixth, whatever places kind of backed up to you. They almost look like, well, I'm not sure I can reach them. Then you do. Then I don't know if I can reach the next guy, and you do. Then you got third place, and you're like, God, maybe I can reach him too. I mean, it all just kind of came to you there. Was that a case of just, like you said, just taking what the track gave you and just relaxing and not wearing that machine out?
Yep, that's what it was. I mean, that's what I think it's, that's how I feel. I was just, like I said, I just settled in and was just kind of logging my laps. I think maybe was it? I think Tom Ashley was behind me, and I was just kind of looking in my mirror and making sure I was maintaining ahead of him. And as long as I was doing that, I was pretty content to just ride. But yeah, I guess I get maybe Jason and Troy raced each other a little bit, and that might have hurt their tires some. I was by myself the whole run, so I was in clean air, and a few things may have helped me out there. But yeah, I was just logging laps, and thankfully they kind of just backed up to me.
Well, it keeps you in this points battle, Wes. You actually, those last few points could be very important ones. I mean, still like a 6-7 way battle for this lead. Are you finding this series to be entertaining?
Oh yeah, it's competitive, and I feel like Jason and Buckshot both have really turned it up a notch, and it's challenging all of us to try to find a little bit extra. I haven't found it yet because they're still killing us. I didn't even see them all night. Hope you guys did. So, but yeah, it's kind of making us all have to be at our absolute best every week. So it's good times.
Well, that's what it's about, and you were certainly at your best late in that run. You end up with third place here. Congratulations, Wesley. We'll give you the mic. Any sponsors, any friends you want to shout out, please do.
Yeah, of course. East Coast Web Printers, Alive Church, and Kylou Glass. Thanks to them for making all this possible. Thanks to you guys for putting on good shows again. I'll be sure to watch it tomorrow while I'm working to catch the show again. But say hi to my wife. I'm sure she's watching. My dad usually watches. My cousin Daniel. I think my in-laws are watching tonight too. So hey, Kenneth and Kathy. Hopefully it's a good show for y'all. Um, Thanks to everybody watching. Appreciate you tuning in, and go Vols.
All right, Adam, that is Wesley Pistol. Third place finish here tonight.
Well, Dean, I've caught up with the second place finisher tonight, Lance Buckshop Grass Cutting Ripka. Tell me about this crazy ride that you had tonight, man. Looked like you had some speed. It looked like you had some looseness. It looks like you have a new sponsor coming up, John Deere, for cutting that grass. But tell us about your second place finish, man.
It was. I wasn't expecting anything more. I knew Jason was going to be pretty quick here. Um, I thought I kind of held my own for the most part. The long run, um, I just couldn't keep that speed. I couldn't keep the same speed. Not sure where I was missing it. I think I was missing it a lot coming out of the corners versus getting in. Think, yeah, I don't know. I think that's got to go down with as one of the most boring races at Phoenix I've ever been a part of.
Well, it was definitely not the norm for sure. I mean, it looked like you were struggling a little bit, coming off the corners with the car just getting a little bit unsettled. Were you feeling that a lot tonight or just during certain parts of the run?
He felt it pretty much the entire run, but I think it was self-inflicted. I think I was just getting in the throttle a little bit too soon, causing a tight, causing the car to push up a little bit on the exit, and then me having to put a little bit too much wheel into it was getting that back end to come around. You got that big kind of hump coming out of the corners that just unsettles the car, takes the weight off the rear end, and yeah, it was tough. I just couldn't break my habit of how I was driving it, and I ran so many laps the same way that no matter what I did in my brain, it just wouldn't go down to my foot.
Well, I have to say, man, heck of a save and a good recovery to come back and finish second place, man. I give you the floor for your shout outs and to your sponsors and your fans.
All right, man. First, I'll thank you guys for what you guys do, WTTV. You guys do a great job. I love tuning in and watching the broadcast next day. East Coast Web Printers, Alive Church, and of course Kylou Glass for sponsoring the series tonight. Shout out to all the men and women in the service and all the guys in the background, everybody in this league. Man, you guys make it great.
Well, I appreciate it, Lance. That was your second place finisher, Dean, Lance Ripka.
Yeah, I mean, he did a nice job, and you hear it was a bit of a fight for him. Someone who didn't have much to fight here this evening, that is Jason, the Rifleman Ratliff, back in victory lane. Congratulations, Jason.
Thank you, Dean. Feels good.
Yeah, I mean, it should feel good. We've seen a little bit of patience from you tonight. You start on the pole, give it up, to Chris Owens there. What were you thinking at the time, Jason?
Well, I was hoping he'd go burn him up, but that didn't happen as fast as I thought it would. But eventually, I think that right rear got the better of him.
Something we noticed when we were watching you and watching everybody really, the dog leg part of the track there, a lot of guys, the car would unload from time to time. Didn't seem like you were having that problem. What kind of line were you running? What were you focused on there to not allow that car to unload?
Well, I get a good exit out of two, stay up by the wall, and then follow the dark spot. Then go about 75% throttle where the curb is for the dog leg, and then as soon as you kind of start going back up hill a little bit, you can pretty much start going full throttle until you have to brake for turn three.
Yeah, and I think that is the key, that 75%. You try and get that power down, and those rear tires will just release, won't they, Jason?
Oh, absolutely. Wheel spin, especially on the rears, is your worst nightmare. You can slide it a corner or two and heat up your tires a little bit, but if you start sliding the right rear and keep doing it and keep doing it and don't back off, it's not going to be a fun time until you pit.
So we get out there, and another thing I talk about, it's not often in these leagues or these races where you get a nice little comfortable lead. It's hard to remain focused at times, you might turn 50 laps by yourself out there. Were you having a hard time at all staying focused, staying in your rhythm?
No, not really. I was just listening to the lap times and trying to stay consistent as I could, and didn't want to leave too much in the car at the end of the run there. So I tried to kind of use up what I had, but without being too dangerous.
Well, the top guys in the points all finish at the top of the board, Jason. You keep getting these wins, but this lead doesn't increase a whole bunch here. I mean, it's still a heck of a race for the championship, isn't it?
Oh yeah, yeah. These guys are tough. It don't matter if you win a couple races; they're going to finish good as well. So really keeps you on your toes, keeps you honest, and makes it an absolute blast. Come out here and run week after week and have good races. And man, we went green flag the whole race, and it might have been a little bit boring, but it was fun.
Well, Jason, you did an awesome job. You've been doing it for quite some time. Congrats on the victory, on maintaining your points lead and increasing it slightly. Can't wait to see what you do next week, but we'll turn it over to you, brother. Anybody you'd like to share it out?
Thank you, Dean. I'd like to thank you guys up in the booth for putting on a good broadcast. Give us something to watch, going forward. And I'd like to thank Live Church for Sundays and Kylou Glass for this series, and then East Coast Web Printers and Jason Brantley for Thursday nights. My team, United Motorsports, appreciate everybody. Royce Valley for painting me a sweet looking ride, and just everybody working behind the scenes and part of this league that makes it a great place to race week in, week out.
All right, Adam, race winner, Jason, the Rifleman Ratliff.
Yeah, he's been on fire, man. I'm gonna tell you that was a phenomenal performance by him tonight. I know it's gonna be hard to duplicate that one.
Well, it is, and like we said, dominating performance, winning, I think 4 races now, maybe more in this series, and yet the lead still very small, Adam. It's almost painful. You work all this time to be dominant, but everybody else is finishing second, third, and fourth. You can't get away from them. You're still one mistake, one bad race from not having the lead.
Yeah, but you think of what he's done tonight. He won the race, got those points. He led the most laps, got those points. Not sure if he got the fastest lap, but he got the pole. So those are all extra points. And we've seen one other guy nickel and dime his way to a championship before. I did it, and so did Bryce Reiner did it.
Well, the championship battle continues, but tonight does not. For myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Adam the Bulldog Newton, that's going to wrap it up from Old Phoenix Raceway, and we'll see you right here next time